Good morning. Happy Election Day. Is there such a thing? I don't know. At least maybe after today, for another maybe year or almost year, some of the political texts and phone calls and commercials and mudslinging will kind of calm down for a little bit, and that's always a good thing. Anyway, but keeping with the times, I want to talk about Election Day and the health of our nation. Now, before you get all nervous and wigged out, this might have a little bit of a political edge because I have my thoughts and my beliefs, but I am, one, not endorsing publicly a particular candidate, and two, I'm going to try really hard not to spout too many of my political views because I really do not want this to turn into a political debate or political page. I have my views and others have their views. And one of the things that I absolutely love about America is that there are more than one views and they don't get along. I know that sounds that doesn't sound like kumbaya, but I like the fact that my views are constantly challenged. And I like the fact that I'm able to constantly challenge other views. And for America, and this is all I'm going to say about this at this point, but in America, the fact that both parties are constantly just digging at each other. I don't like the lies that get propped up by both sides, but that's just people fighting for power. Shit's going to happen. I'm sorry, excuse my language, but I like the fact that it causes a slowdown in action in the government. I like the fact that it causes, it does cause a lot of positive things if you look for the positive. But anyway, so I'm not going to try to endorse any candidates that I vote for or wouldn't vote for, and I'm not going to criticize those that I would not vote for, and I don't want that on this channel. But I am going to talk about one very important thing that bothers me, and it goes with the keto or the whole feel of my videos, and that is we've got to get healthy. We have got to get healthy. There are many different ideas of what it takes to get healthy. And I go back in my mind to when I had my first baby 34 years ago. I'm old. Anyway, I had my first baby and I took her to a pediatrician for her first checkup. And it was a pediatrician that was mine when I was growing up. As a matter of fact, he was my doctor clear up until I got pregnant. And he's like, okay, you're not a pediatric anymore. You need to see a big people doctor because you're pregnant now. But Dr. Shears. Anyway, everybody else will kill me. You're the only one that knows how to be a doctor. That's how much I admire this man. And he held my baby Mandy and he's looking at her. He finished the checkup and he says, my number one advice to you is do not give her Kool-Aid, pop, candies, cakes. Don't give her crap. Okay. Now I was fat. I was constantly, he's the first one that ever used the word obesity that I heard of, and obese child. I was 10 when I first heard that word. I remember asking, what does that mean? Yeah. Anyway, and then he summed it up like this. He said, when you get out of here and you get in your car and you drive home, I said, yeah. He said, if you need gas in it, what are you going to put in it? Gas? He says, are you gonna dump syrup in the gas tank? No, that'd be silly. He goes, you can put sugar cubes in there? I was like, no, that'll kill your car. He says, yep, I'm gonna kill your baby too. Anyway, he had already started seeing the rise of childhood obesity, and he's already was starting to be concerned about that. And he said, if you give a car crappy fuel, you will gum it up and it won't run healthy. If you give your baby crappy fuel, she'll get obese. She could get diabetes. And he started listing off the words. And I took that to heart for a while. I didn't change what I was eating, but I was really try to be very specific about what I fed my children. And they all ended up pretty darn healthy. It is so common now to see babies with Kool-Aid in their bottles and rotten teeth, and children that are way overweight, and diseases that were associated with old people, like type 2 diabetes used to be called adult onset diabetes. Now it's called type 2 diabetes because, well, they're finding it in children. They're finding fatty liver in children. Yeah. Children are having there's been more episodes of autism, more episodes of ADHD and ADD. Folks, I'm telling you, we have got to get our country healthy. We must. I had heard a study by a doctor, and he said for the first time in many, many years, our children have a lower lifespan than the adults, than the generation before. This is the time in our world we are getting smarter, supposed to be getting smarter, more advanced in medicine, more advanced in agriculture, more advanced in everything, yet our children will have a lower lifespan in my generation. That's got to stop. And it's not going to happen in our state capital, and it's not going to happen in Washington, D.C. It's not going to happen there. We need to stop looking at somebody else to fix what we know darn good and well we can fix ourselves. I'm passionate about this. We have candidates running for expanded health care. But ask yourself, how is that going to get paid for? It must get paid for. And yes, it needs to happen. Something needs to happen because we have more and more people who are sick. But what if we dig out the root and start making more and more people healthy? Then we wouldn't have to try to fund more medical stuff. What if we change the school lunches to be lower carbohydrates? What if we're able to get the food industry and the pharmaceutical industry to shut up long enough that we can think for ourselves? What if we stop cutting off the funding because so many studies are funded by these big industries that have money on the table? Cancer research is being squashed by pharmaceutical companies because what if they're showing, and they are, and they're not allowed to get out, 80% of all cancer is metabolic. And if it can be created by metabolic issues, it can be treated by it. There are cancer doctors who are frustrated because they do everything they're supposed to do and they're watching their people die. There are Americans who are frustrated because they're doing everything they're supposed to do. Everything the Food Administration and the pharmaceutical companies and all these are telling them they're supposed to do. And taking all the medicines they're told they're supposed to take, and they're spending big money to do it. And they're not getting any better. What if we take the time to research our food and our diet as strongly as we research our candidates? What if you vote for you? What if you scrutinize the food that's on your food ballot? What if you vote to take a walk? What if? And you can sneak one in. The other day I went to Walmart. I parked at the back of the lot. You know something? There's always parking there. You don't have to drive around for hours to find a parking place there. You don't have to hold up the rest of the traffic because someone's loading the groceries in their cart right there at the front of the store. So you're just going to wait for that spot and you're holding up everybody else. You don't have to do it. You park in the back. There's always parking back there. And then you just give yourself a walk. You walked. Easy. You snuck that dude in there. What if we vote for that? What if we vote for, hey, let's turn the kids' electronics off and go outside? I had so much fun when I went and played disc frisbee with my grandsons. Not that we played it right. I never played it. They never played it. One's 6, one's 9, and I'm old. So, but you know something? We threw our frisbees in the Kansas wind. Yeah, we saw how that went. Into at the baskets, and we laughed, and we were like, I'm going to beat you. No, I'm winning. And, race you to the frisbees. We had so much fun. Next thing you know, we looked up and the car was way down there because we'd get our frisbees in the basket and we're like, okay, where's the next one? We're looking around. Oh, over there. So we go over there. And next thing you know, I had so much fun and fresh air and exercise and laughs. We can get exercise and laughs when we're sitting there watching movies. We didn't build any bonding time sitting there watching movies. We get irritated because I can't hear. Quit talking. You don't bond watching movies. You don't bond playing video games. So a little bit, not as much. When you get outside and you play and you're walking and running, you're breathing air and oxygen and you're getting sunshine in your face, that's glue that builds a relationship. Vote for outside instead of the movie. This is election day. Vote for you. Vote to be your own representative. Take the time to learn what you need. Take the time to find out what it is and stand up for yourself. Represent yourself. Tell your doctors, no, I'm not taking that. No. Or ask your doctors, teach me. You don't have to be anybody's puppet. Stand up. Represent yourself. Be your own governor. Be the one in control of you. What do you need? Rule yourself. And the crazy thing is, if you get on your path and you're like, not working, you can change it. You don't have to wait 4 years to do it. You can change it right now. Be your own. That's the great thing about America and most of the world now. You can make your own choices. Parents, stand up and tell the school system, no, we don't want that stuff on our kids' school lunches. We don't want to over-processed food in our school lunches. No, schools, we don't want Taco Bell served to our children for their school lunches. Stand up. Represent them. Let them know. We want more meat than carbohydrates on those kids' plates. No, we don't want fruit juice and chocolate milk served to our children at lunch. No. And stand up. You may not be the personality that is confident to do that, but you will find your area of confidence and do it. Do it. You may be the quiet leader. You may be the one that really doesn't want to face controversy. And that's fine. There are people like that. But you can find your way. You can find your way to control yourself. You don't have, just because you're a calm person doesn't mean you have to be a doormat. Stand up. It's your life. It's your body. It's your health. It's your children. Vote for you. And here's another thing. I'm not able to vote this year, which really kind of bothers me because I didn't get re-registered after I moved. Been a little bit preoccupied with a lot of other stuff going on, and I was like, oh crap, I forgot to do that. I will register before the next election, of course. As soon as the registration opens up again, I'll register. But you don't have to register to vote for you. You can vote for you wherever you're at. You get a say in everything you do. And your vote counts when you vote for you. Election day. Vote for the health of our nation. And in order to do that, you vote for the food that's on your ballot. And you vote for the food that's on your children's ballot. What I'd like to see, and this gets a little bit of my political views in here, and I don't mean for it to be anything other than just my opinion, but I would love to see not a tax added to sugary drinks like a lot of proponents are saying we need to happen. I don't agree with that. And the reason I don't is because when they put extra tax on cigarettes, it didn't stop people from buying them. And when they put extra tax on alcohol, it didn't stop people from buying them. When they put extra tax on anything that they use, they think that is going to slow down the usage of it. Does not. Never has, never will. What I would like to see is a little more restrictions on what can be allowed to be bought with government money. And I'm not trying to be a class divider or anything, but in all reality, I think if we would treat cakes and cookies and stuff at the grocery store as prepared food, like pizzas from Pizza Hut, and say you can't buy those with state assisted money, if we would treat soda pop the same as we do beer and alcohol and say you can't buy those with state money, instead you buy this. I also feel like I think we'll see a change. Yeah, there are people that are addicted and they're going to get it no matter what, but there's people who's addicted to cocaine, they're going to get it no matter what. Our children do not need that crap. They do not need it. You know, I think I saw where there was one state and a doctor was successful in getting that program, their state assisted food program, to do 2-for-1 at farmers markets. So he wasn't successful in saying they can't use their, and in Kansas it's a vision card, and I think it's like SNAP somewhere, I don't know. Anyway, he wasn't successful in saying they can't buy pop or cookies, cakes, and candies with it, but he was successful with saying, but if they use it at a farmer's market for fresh fruits and vegetables, they can use it. They get double the benefit with it. And I was like, yes. So I'm not saying that they shouldn't get any benefits because they're poor. I'm not that heartless, mean, or cold. But I am saying that our children are suffering. And the parents out there are not getting any help from anybody that matters. And our parents need to be taught. Our young parents, they need to know the dangers of sugar. It is poison, folks. It is so poisonous. And it doesn't take long to find out how poisonous it is. The chemicals in the processed food, that's like pouring sugar in your gas tank by putting those into our children. You know, the Coca-Cola industry has a larger marginal profit than our oil companies. I had read that one time years ago, so if I'm wrong, then forgive me, because I didn't take the time to research it again. But when I read that, I was flabbergasted, because it was during the time that people were angry at the oil companies because their prices are ridiculous and all this. And they were so angry at the oil companies for being greedy money mongers who will just run over everybody. And they were They were really just vilifying Shell and all the oil companies. And so I understand that once it hits the media, it's never really all that it's supposed to be. They are going to take a little bit of creative liberties with it just to sell the story, because ultimately our news media, that's all they care about. They are a business. They care about the profits. If they're not making the profits, they will change the story to make it sell. They will, I'm telling you. So if all your research you're getting is out of the newspaper, you're getting altered research. Anyway, back to my story. So I'm looking to find out what in the world are people so upset about, because every one of them yelling and screaming is getting in their SUV and driving down the road. They're not willing to start walking or riding a bicycle. They'll drive 2 blocks to the grocery store just like everybody else, but they're hollering and screaming about the oil companies. Business is a business is a business, and it doesn't work if it doesn't make money. I can tell you that because I lost mine. And then I found the statistics for Coca-Cola industry, and I'm like, oh my God, they were higher than the oil industries. But you don't hear anyone yelling about that. You don't question whether research is being funded by Coca-Cola. And they're not going to fund something that's not going to help them advance, because that'd be poor business. They didn't get that big being poor business. They got that big by being money hungry. It's how you make your business grow. You have to look at the money. I know all the kumbaya people. That just is cruel, but seriously, that is business. The only thing that matters in business is that bottom line. If you don't focus on that bottom line, you will not have a business, and that is business 101. Yes, the people build your business, but you still look at the people in relation to what it's doing to that bottom line every time. If you don't, you don't have a business. So, Coca-Cola, look how big it is. Look at what it's funding. Look what it has to lose if people went anti-sugar. So now, what's it look like on the surface? I'm telling you, when you get ready to cast that ballot for the food you eat, what's on it? Vote to make you your own representative, your own governor. Vote to control your life. Vote to be your number one health advocate. And if everybody does this, then we have just expanded our Medicare program. And it didn't take any extra taxes, and it didn't take any extra effort. And we can just be healthier and stronger than we have been in generations and generations and generations. Why are you voting for a cupcake? Makes you feel good for a moment. Is that the same passion you're going to behind the person you vote for on election day? Do your research. Your todays, your tomorrows, and your children's tomorrows depend on it. Research and love yourself enough to apply what you found. Get healthy. Make your children healthy. No, Mom, you're not being mean by telling them you cannot have a candy bar. You're not being mean by telling them you can't have pop. Let's have water. Let's make some tea. You're not being mean. You're being loving. You're being caring. You're being the governor of your family and the representative for you and your family. What do they need? Get it. Demand it. Expect it. And you do that by casting your vote for what food you're going to eat. All right. Be mindful of what you vote for today and tomorrow and the next day and every day. Love you. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Oh, I think that's going to be good.